up, cousins? Brawler626 here, and today we're going to do something a little bit different than what we normally do of unboxing Bakugan and doing openings, all that type of stuff, battling, whatever. We're going to cover stuff that went on at MomoCon 2019 in Atlanta, Georgia. Sadly, I was not able to go, but there's a bunch of people who did, who were able to go and compete in tournaments, fight in the cage match, which I've been watching all of them as much as I can, seeing what decks we're going through, and the ones that I did miss that I couldn't see, there was a website or another YouTube channel called Brawler Cafe. And I'll put their link to their channel and their website down below in the description because this is where I'm getting all my information from. But they did a kind of like a archetype list of all the archetypes, all the decks that were used that fought in the cage matches. I may be wrong if it may not be just in the cage matches, but the ones that I see here, there's not a lot of them. That's what I'm like, I think there's only 1, 5, 4, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 decks that are here, maybe 19, 20 decks that are sitting here that I'm looking at. So, I don't know, it's maybe the only ones in the cage match, I don't know yet. They didn't really say it was or wasn't, but I'm going to assume it is, that it's the only ones that got to fight in the cage match. Now, I'll put the list picture over here, so you guys can see it. Of course, that's why I'm in the corner. So you guys can kind of see the list of what the decks were used going through. But we're going to kind of go through them all. And we're also, on some of them, we're actually going to do a kind of like a deck analysis of those decks. So like we'll do one of our Triple XC. We're going to do one of the Detectives when he gets his. M Stubbs 88, the what is it, Fang Shaman. We're gonna do, there's another guy who had one, I got his deck profile coming in. So if you have a deck profile that you competed with at MomoCon, let me know down in the comments below and send me pictures of it through my social media, which their links are going to be in the description below, so that I can kind of like, you know, kind of review them and go into and see who used the decks for one, and what's your ratio and what the deck looks like. So yeah, let's get started off here. So our first one that we had was a HTN, which is the Hyper Titan Nilius. Now it says on the list that it was Scarlet Skill was the player. I don't know if that's him, or I want to say that was the Detective. If you don't know who he is, his channel, I'll show a picture right there and the right next to it, so you kind of see. I want to say that might be his. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell what this is because all it says is the Bakugan and the player. And when I was talking to Detective, he uses the exact same Bakugan that were here. So it's kind of like, I don't know. But basically what the Bakugan that they used were Pius Nobilius, I can't speak, Nobilius Ultra, which is a new Bakugan from Wave 5 that was actually released at the MomoCon event. So you were able to pick him up and you were able to use him in the tournament, so which was nice. So you used him. Then we use Pyrus Drago Ultra. Of course, we used the Pyrus one, that's good. Then we also used the Chaos Nilius, the core version. Those are the 3 Bakugan that he used in this deck. So which worked he said it worked out pretty good. Like I said, we gotta talk more into it. We'll go more in detail on some of the decks going in. Then there was 3 Fist decks. So your Green Fist decks. Of course, you guys know I did some Green Fist deck. Well, a Green Fist deck, 2 Green Fist, 1.5 Green Fist deck. Past couple videos. If you want to see it, go check those out. They're really cool. But here's some people who actually got some different variations of those decks. So the first one was the Aquas Crocilius Ultra, Chaos Pegatrix, and a Arliss Pegatrix. So those are kind of an interesting, and I think the Aquas Crocilius, I can't remember if it's already released yet. I think it's already released. I haven't got one yet though. That's the only thing. I haven't got one yet, but I think it's already released. If not, it's a Wave 5 Bakugan. It's 4 or 5, I know that much. And it'll be coming out, it already came out, and he used those Bakugan there. Of course, we'll try to see if we can get a deck profile of that one. I don't know. Like I said, some of these I don't even know who has it because, as you see, there's only players, and there's only like 5 players on here at the moment. Luckily enough, I know some of the people there, so we're good. So another fist deck, green fist deck, was Aquos Trox Ultra, Chaos Pegatrix, and Arliss Pegatrix. So it seems like the theme of so far is the Chaos Pegatrix and the Arliss Pegatrix. Those two seem like they're really good green fist Bakugan. And I guess the Darkest Hydrus, which is very interesting. Or I'm sorry, no, the Aquos Trox. I was looking at the next one. Aquos Trox Ultra. So that's an interesting one to put into it. I have to look at the Evos and kind of go through and kind of just see how good of an idea that is. But it seems like it will work out pretty well. Then we have the last fist deck, which is Darkest Hydrus. Then you have the Chaos Pegatrix and Arliss Pegatrix. So the Darkest Hydrus is nice, so that's a good Darkest Chaos combo of using Darkest cards with a Pack of Darkness, because Pack of Darkness is just broken card. It's really good. And then Chaos with the Green Fist boosting ability going into it, using well, what is it? I can't think now. Why can't I use it? Mega Punch and Holy Flame, using those cards to kind of go in and get those bonuses off of using Green Fist. And then we had two shield decks. So these are like your standard shield decks, which are like these cores. There's two of those. And they both ran the exact same Bakugan in it. Don't know how much the decks were similar into it, but we know that they ran the exact same Bakugan, which is Aquos Hydrus Ultra, Aquos Pegatrix, and Darkest Nilius Ultra. So they use those same Bakugan going in and fighting the Brawl. But like I said, I don't know what the deck difference is, and I don't know the win ratios. I wish we knew what the win ratios were on this. I mean, I know if these are the cage matches, they had to at least win 3 games in a row. So they had to go 3-0, basically. If you know, it's 3 wins, 0 losses going in, so they could fight in the cage match. So at least they did 3 wins in a row. Don't know how many times if they battled after that. I don't know what the win ratios of that. But they did go 3-0 to get into this tournament. So yeah, the decks. I'm curious what the decks are on those to see. But then we have 3 Fury decks. 2 normal Fury and 1 Hero Fury is what they call it. So the 2 Fury decks, what they used are the Pyrus Serpentine Ultra, Darkest Halicore Ultra, and Arliss Nilius. Is that right? Yeah, Arliss Nilius. So which is actually a pretty decent combination going in. I like Arliss Nilius. Of course, Nilius is my favorite Bakugan. I've used him in my Darkest decks because his Evo basically says when he's discarded, you can play it for free. So with the Darkest, oh no, he used the Darkest Hydrus Ultra, so yeah. So you'd be able to have the Darkest cards going in. It's kind of a weird kind of combo going into that, because it's very different of a Fury deck, because it looks like the main Bakugan would be the Pyrus Serpentine Ultra, and I may be wrong looking at that, but it looks like it's a very interesting deck going in. But then, of course, the next Fury deck, which we are going to be doing a deck profile of. This one I know we are doing a fact, because I was talking to the guy, which is the second Fury Hero deck, which is Pyrus Serpentine Ultra, Pyrus Halicore Ultra, and the Darkest Tertonium Ultra. Those 3 Bakugan. We did a deck profile of those 3 in a deck with the Fury deck, which is actually still, I personally like the deck. I like those 3 Bakugan combined together to make the Fury deck. I saw his deck profile. He sent me pictures of it already. Very interesting deck. He said it was good. It was good. It worked out really, really well with the deck. I almost want to rebuild mine and build it similar to his going into that, because there's some ideas I wanted to take from just even from this deck and from what Nerdy Friends did recently with the Fury deck, Pyrus Chaos Darkest. Yeah, Pyrus Chaos Darkest Fury deck that they did, which seemed to work pretty interesting, pretty good as well. Then we have the Hero Fury deck. Now this one, I'm interested in this one. I want to see this. I want to see what heroes this person used. I mean, we all know they use Shargo Ronin. I mean, that's an obvious one. Well, never mind. You don't know that yet because well, you know what Bakugan they use, which they use Chaos Mantanoid Ultra, Pyrus Halicore Ultra, and Darkest Tertonium Ultra. So the Chaos Mantinoid gives you access to Shargo Ronin. That gives you access to, what other good Chaos Bakugan are there, right? Or hero cards. I can't even think right now. I'm trying to think, is Strata good? Strata's good. There's Chaos Strata that came out. I think he's a good one. I think there's a couple more. I think there might be one more that's out that's pretty decent. But then, of course, you also have access to, of course, your Pyrus, which is Dan Kuso, with Barbara Kuso, the Mama Kuso. And you also have access to Mac if you're trying to use the, what is it, the, oh, I can't think of it, use, lost it now, doggone it, I can't think, Mac used the whole damage thing going through, winning damage, I can't think there for a second, I don't know why, brain fart. So yeah, so I mean, that actually seems like a very good deck, just like that, just the ideas of going through seems very interesting. Then we have the Pyrus Darkest mid-range deck. Now, I want to say this one is M-Stub's deck, M-Stub's 88. He did a deck profile of that, so we're going to kind of go over that. If you want to see it, I'll put his channel down below so you guys can go watch that video. It seems like a really interesting and fun deck to play going in. But he uses Pyrus Drago, which he actually custom painted, which was nice to see pictures of. Then we had Darkest Tertonium Ultra. And then Arliss Dragonoid Ultra. So he's using that new Arliss Dragonoid. A lot of people, you'll see later on, a lot of the people are using the Arliss Dragonoid Ultra in their decks because, I don't know, he just seems like a very good card. Or a very good Bakugan anyway. And his Evo, I mean, his Evo, I know a lot of people are like, oh, his Evo gets every attribute, he can stop by everything. Who cares? You're going to be stopped by everything anyway. And he can basically, bonuses, he counts as those Bakugan. So if you want to get a bonus off of using those cards, like certain archetype cards, like, hey, this card only works for Aqua's Bakugan, that works. So I think that it works out really, really good going into that. I think it just works out really great. And it looked like he did pretty good. I think I can't remember if he lost or won the cage match. But he did good anyway. I like the deck. I want to talk to him more about that deck because that looks really fun to play. Then we have the Darkest Ventus Ramp Control. Now this one I had an idea of, actually right before I saw this deck, I was like, ooh, I want to build this deck. And then I saw this. But Ramp Control basically is going to be getting energies, and ramping up your energy pile while controlling your opponent, basically. And controlling what your opponent does. So they're using my boy Darkest Fangzor Ultra, Ventus Serpentines Ultra, and Ventus Trux Ultra. So that Ventus Trux Ultra is going to give you access to getting energies from your hand, or getting cards from your hand into your energy pile a lot quicker. Darkest Fangzor, of course, got Shadow Strike to help control things going on. Ventus Serpentines Ultras, whenever you like play it or whenever it opens, you get 2 extra energies back. But if you go like because there's a hyper version, there's a Titan version. The hyper version does when you play this, it gets 2 energies back because it's 2 energies. So you basically play it for free. Then the Titan one says whenever it opens, I think it energizes all your energies back up so you can use them again. So which is good, especially if you're using where is it, Darkest got high cost cards, so that would be, that's nice to use with that. And like I said, I wanted to build a deck similar to that, and I think those are some good Bakugan to use with that. Then we have the reroll deck, which is very interesting. It's just reroll, they call it reroll. So there's a lot of re-rolling in there, which is, like I said, very interesting. You have Aqua's Fangzor, Arliss Fangzor, and Darkest Hydrus Ultra. So that apparently, because you get a lot of the Aqua's cards like Deep Dive, that lets you re-roll your Bakugan. There's a couple Darkest cards that let you re-roll your Bakugan, like Second Strike. I think Mind Slip does as well. Yeah, Mind Slip does as well. So you have access to all those type of cards that help you re-roll, so you can get more advantages to for like the Aqua's hero cards, and all that type stuff going through. Then there is a Ventus Control, which is done by Arliss Agent, I can't speak today. But this is one of the Spin Masters people that you get to fight in the cage, along with Simo and along with why can't I think of his name now? The creator, the developer, basically, of the game. Jason, I think is his name. I may be wrong. I feel like I'm butchering your name. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so those are like the 3 people you can play going in. Then he, of course, ran the Ventus Webam Ultra. So we haven't seen that Bakugan, or some people have seen that Bakugan yet, which was really cool Bakugan. Then you have Ventus Trox Ultra and Ventus Mantinoid Ultra. So you'll be getting a lot of that energy, and you're controlling your opponent by, of course, Ventus is like a good controlling. That's why I think Ventus and Darkus are a very good controlling deck, reducing damage, reducing B power, stuff like that. And then of course, going into that, using Webam, I think rerolls as well. So which is very, very nice going in. Then we have Mono Aquas, which is ran by Simo. This is going to be Aquas Hydrus Ultra, Aquas Pegatrix, and Aquas Fangzor. Of course, he used Aquas Fangzor before, and Aquas Fangzor is kind of one of my favorite Aquas Bakugan right now, going in. And then you have Aquas Pegatrix with the double shield, and Aquas Hydrus Ultra with the double shield as well. So that kind of just works out itself, which was really good. I saw the deck, some of the plays he had. Those are some really good plays going in, the matches that he battled in. And then we have my good friend RXXC in his deck, which is a Mono Ventus deck. So we had a Ventus control, and now we have another Mono Ventus deck, which is going to be Ventus Trox Ultra, Ventus Mantinoid Ultra, and Arliss Dragonoid Ultra. Now, Ventus Trox, of course, is his boy, lets you get energies, and the whole point, I want to say, if I'm correct, I may be wrong, is getting a lot of energies and being able to use Titan Trox Ultra to get Winton, and Winton to help build Trox Ultra up. It's basically supposed to be a 2,000, 3,000 B power Bakugan. Basically is the whole point of the deck. And then Mantinoid gets like a bonus because you have so many freaking energies in your energy pile, because you know that's so good. And then Arliss Dragon is just a good Bakugan. It's just a good Bakugan. I personally think it's a good Bakugan. I need to pick me one up. I haven't picked one up yet. I need to go. Then we have the Tri-Dragonoid deck. I don't know who ran this one, but you have the Darkus Drago, Pyrus Drago, and the Aquas Drago. These are like all the core ones, so I'm curious what this one is. To be honest with you, I'm very curious. It says a triple Drago, or Tri-Drago, and that's all it says. So I really want to see what more it has. Like, what's the deck profile? If you have that deck profile, if you're the person who ran that deck, let me know, please. I want to see this deck, because this deck seems very interesting to kind of like to play around with. Then we have Other. Yeah, just Other. They don't know what the deck name is. They just called it Other, which is Pyrus Dragonoid Ultra, Pyrus Nobilius Ultra, and Chaos Pegatrix. So this is very interesting, because Chaos Pegatrix is 2 Green Fist. Pyrus Dragonoid Ultra is a Red Fist and a Magic Shield. I think Nobilius is a... I know he's a Red Fist. I don't know if he's a Green Fist or a Magic Shield. I can't remember. But either way, that's a very interesting combo going in. But you have access, of course, to Pyrus and Chaos, which is like one of the key cards like right now is, of course, with Air Zero, Super Fuel, Dan Kuso, Mega Punch, Holy Flame, all those type cards, Shargo Ronin. I think those are like your key cards like right now that are really good. Going in and using a Pyrus Chaos deck with that, I think works out really, really well. Getting that. So yeah, so those are the decks that were used at MomoCon 2019 at Atlanta, Georgia. We kind of just went through them all here, kind of an idea of what they all are. Like I said, I want to do some deck profiles. I know this video is a little longer than normal, but I want to do some deck profiles going in on some of these decks, going more in detail of what was used and not just the Bakugan. Like I said, I already have a few, just gotta finish putting things together, make sure everything's going through, and just asking questions about it as well, about all the decks. So yeah, so remember, If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you click that like button down below. And if you're new, go ahead and click that subscribe button to become a cousin in our family. And make sure you click that bell icon so you guys get notified of videos just like this one here, because like I said, we'll be doing all of these decks here, or at least try to do all of them, of kind of deck analysis of those decks that were used there. So stay tuned, click that bell so you guys get notified of that. And remember, Ohana means family, and family means don't get left behind or forgotten. And I will see y'all next time. Bye!